Hello students, this is Dr. Nimulangshu here. So we are discussing coordination chemistry nowadays. So in our previous class we have discussed many things about coordination chemistry, and also we have discussed about isomerism in coordination complexes, then nomenclature of coordination compounds, the naming of ligands. Okay, now today we are going to start a theory of coordination complex which is called as valence bond theory, Now this theory is, in short form, it is called as VBT. Okay, now this theory was given by Linus Pauling in the year 1932. Okay, now this theory is beneficial for us in what sense? Now why this theory has been put forward by Linus Pauling. Now this theory is beneficial because with the help of this theory we can predict that whether a coordination complex is paramagnetic or diamagnetic, that we have studied in your chemical bonding chapter in first year. Means the complexes which have unpaired electrons in it, that complex will be attracted by the magnetic field and the complex will be paramagnetic in nature, and the coordination complexes which do not have unpaired electrons in it, that complex will be diamagnetic, and which we have discussed already in chemical bonding chapter. Okay, now this is all about magnetic nature. Then type of hybridization. What type of hybridization is exhibited by the central metal atom when it is going to attach ligand to it? So before attaching one ligand, the metal atom should undergo hybridization in itself. Okay. Now by the what type of hybridization is taking place in the central metal atom or ion is being we can determine very easily with the help of this valence bond theory. Okay, next is magnetic moment. Magnetic moment means how many number of unpaired electrons are present in a coordination complex. So magnetic moment values we have discussed in our DNA block chapter, that magnetic moment mu is equal to root over n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton, that we have discussed already in DNA block chapter, where n is number of unpaired electrons. So with the help of this theory, with the help of this valence bond theory, we can see how many number of unpaired electrons are there, and accordingly we can find the magnetic moment values of that coordination complex. Okay, so in this way this valence bond theory is very useful for us. Now there are some features of this theory, there are some postulates of this theory, or there are some assumptions of this theory. The main features of this theory is that the valence that formation of metal ligand bond, the main features of this theory. Now we are going to discuss the main features of this theory. So the number one feature of this theory is formation. Number one feature. So we are going to discuss now feature. So features of features of valence bond theory. Okay, so features is, number one is there should be a metal ligand bond. Okay, now for the formation of coordination complex. Now the electron pair should be donated by the ligand, will donate electron pair. So it will be an Lewis base, and the metal should be an electron pair acceptor. So it will be a Lewis acid. So this should be the basic. This should be a basic feature for the formation of a coordination complex. Okay. Next is the central metal atom. The central metal atom, it should have enough amount of empty vacant d orbitals. It should have empty d orbitals in it, so that it can accommodate number of unpaired electrons from ligand. So that it can accommodate number of electrons from ligand. So it should have empty d orbitals in it. Okay, and the third feature is the vacant orbitals should undergo hybridization. The orbitals should undergo hybridization. Okay, the orbital should undergo hybridization, though should hybridize itself. The orbital should undergo hybridization, or the metal should hybridize itself before attaching any ligand to it. So, because on the basis of hybridization only we will be able to determine its geometry. Because on the basis of hybridization only we will be able to determine its geometry. So, if the coordination number, if it is coordination number, and if it is hybridization, okay, and if it is geometry, then the coordination number having the complexes with coordination number 4 will hybridize itself to give sp3 hybridization, and the geometry will be tetrahedral, okay. Now the complexes with coordination number 4 again should undergo dsp2 hybridization, and the geometry will be square planar, okay. And the complexes with coordination number 5 should undergo sp3d hybridization, and the geometry should be trigonal bipyramidal, okay. And the complexes with coordination number 6, it should undergo hybridization to give sp3d2 or d2sp3, and the geometry is octahedral, So the metal should undergo hybridization. First feature is there should be a metal ligand bond in coordination complexes. Second feature is the metal should have excess in empty d orbital so that it can accommodate number of ligands in it. The third feature is that the metal atom should undergo hybridization in itself, so that because we know that before attaching anything to it, it should undergo hybridization in it. And on the basis of that, if the coordination with the metal complex, the coordination complexes with coordination number 4, it should undergo hybridization, sp3 hybridization, and the geometry accordingly the geometry will be tetrahedral. The coordination complexes with coordination number 4, again it should have dsp2 hybridization, and the metal complexes will be square planar, and the coordination complexes will be square planar. The coordination complexes with coordination number 5, it should undergo sp3d hybridization, and the geometry of the complex is trigonal bipyramidal. The complexes with coordination number 6, it should undergo sp3d2 hybridization or d2sp3 hybridization, and the geometry of the complex is octahedral. Now, next point is the d orbitals. Next feature is the d orbitals which are undergoing hybridization. The d orbitals which are undergoing hybridization, it is of two types. That is why we should be amazed to see that why sir has written here sp3d2, and again also he has given or d2sp3. Now this is one of the basic feature, because the d orbitals which is undergoing hybridization, it can be number 4 point is the d orbital which is undergoing hybridization. It can be n-1 d orbital, okay, or n d orbital, n-d orbital or n d orbital, okay. So now for example, suppose there is a centimeter atom which have of 3D series, okay. Now suppose cobalt we can take. When we take example, we will see in details, okay. So now n-1 d orbital. Suppose we have a metal with 3d orbital is there, and also 4d orbital is there. If 4d is undergoing hybridization, then it is called n-d orbital, and if 3d is undergoing hybridization, then it is called n-1 d orbital. Okay, now this n-d1 or if n-1 d orbital is undergoing hybridization, then that complex is called inner orbital complex. That complex is called inner orbital complex, okay, inner orbital complex. And if nd orbital is undergoing hybridization, then it is called outer orbital complex. That is called outer orbital complex. Okay. So this is one of the basic feature, because on the basis of hybridization only we can be able to say whether the complex is inner orbital complex or outer orbital complex. Okay. Now another important point is that, another important feature is that, let's see what is that important feature. Now if the ligand which is approaching the central metal atom, if the ligand which is approaching the central metal atom, if it is a strong field ligand, then what it will do? It will do the pairing of electrons in d orbital. If suppose Cn minus is a ligand which is a strong field ligand, so it will do the pairing of electrons in d orbitals. Okay, so that means strong field ligand will do so the fifth point is strong field ligand will do pairing. Okay, so strong field ligand will induce pairing of electrons, Okay, so as a result the complex will be a loss spin complex. Loss spin complex. Now what is this loss spin complex? We will see when we will discuss some examples, that at that time we will see. Now if the ligand is a weak field ligand, and it will not be able to do the pairing, so no pairing of electron, okay, and the ligand will be a high spin complex. So the ligand will be a high spin complex. Okay. So on the basis of this ligand also, this is an important deciding factor for coordination complex, because the ligand which is coming to the which is approaching the central metal atom, that ligand, if it is a strong field ligand, then there will be pairing of electron in d orbital of central metal atom, and that complex will be a loss spin complex. And similarly, on the other hand, if the ligand is a weak field ligand, then no pairing of electron will take place in the d orbital, and the complex will be a high spin complex. So these two, the third point, that is hybridization. Hybridization should be there in metal orbital, in central metal atom, because without hybridizing itself, it cannot attach any ligand to it. So if the hybridization is sp3, so coordination number will be 4 and the complex will be tetrahedral 1. Similarly, again the hybridization is dsp2, the coordination number is 4 and the complex will be a square planar geometry. And if the hybridization is sp3d, then the complex will be of coordination number 5 and the geometry is diagonal bipyramidal geometry. And if the hybridization is sp3d2 or d2sp3, then the complex will be of coordination number 6 and the geometry of the complex is octahedral geometry. Now what is this sp3d and sp3d2 or d2sp3? So if n minus d orbital is taking part in hybridization, then that complex is called inner orbital complex, and if nd orbital is taking part in hybridization, then that complex is called outer orbital complex. So we have taken one example, a 3d orbital and 4d orbital. So if 4d orbital is involved in hybridization, it is called outer orbital complex. We will see it in details when we are going to solve some problems. And the last but not the least is now the ligand nature. Ligand, if the approaching ligand is a strong field ligand, now what it will do? It will do the pairing of electron. So as a result, the complex will be a low spin complex. And if the ligand is a weak field ligand, then no pairing of electron will take place in d orbital, and the complex will be a high spin complex. Okay. So these are some basic points or basic features of valence bond theory of coordination compounds. Okay. Now we will solve examples. While solving example, we will be able to see that how the complex are behaving or what is the magnetic nature of the complex, or what is the geometry of the complex, or what is the magnetic moment value of the complex, because on the number of electron we are able to get the magnetic moment values also. So in this way we can determine. So now the ligand field strength. So the ligand field strength is determined from a series which is called spectrochemical series. Okay. Now we are going to give you the spectrochemical series. Okay. So now this is spectrochemical series. So this is spectrochemical series which will determine the ligand field strength. Okay, so what is the ligand field strength of a particular ligand? Okay, so that series is called spectrochemical series. Now see, I minus is a very weak ligand, then Br minus, then S2 minus, that is sulfide, S2 minus sulfide, PHIDE, then SCN minus, then Cl minus, then F minus. Okay, then OH minus, here I am continuing, then C2O4 2 minus, then O2 minus means peroxo linkage or peroxo group, then water, then EDTA, ethyl diamine tetraacetate, then is NCS minus, then NH3, then EN, ethylene diamine, then biphenyl, okay, then comes phenanthroline, PHEN, phenanthroline, then comes NO2 minus, then CN minus, then CO. So from this we can see that CO is a very strong field ligand, whereas I minus is a very weak field ligand. So this series you have to, some part of the series you have to keep it in mind, because when you are going to determine that what type of vibration the central metal atom of the complex is undergoing, at that time if you do not know whether the electron pairing will take place or not, how we will determine the type of vibration. So because see now this statement should maybe of Greek and Latin to people, but when you go and solve problem, at that time you will see that how much necessary this series is. This spectrochemical series, it is a series which determine the ligand field strength. So I minus is a very weak ligand, whereas Cn minus or CO is a very strong ligand. So the most strongest one is CO, and the weakest one is I minus, then Br minus, S2 minus, SCN minus, Cl minus, F minus, OH minus, oxalic ion, O2 minus means peroxo group, peroxo linkage, water, then water means aqua in coordination chemistry, then ethylene diamine tetraacetate, NCS minus, NH3, then ethylene diamine, bipyridine or biphenyl, then phenanthroline, then NO2 minus, then Cl minus, and CO. So CO is a very strong field ligand, whereas I minus, Br minus, these are weak field ligands. Okay. So if these ligands come and approach central metal atom, so there will be no pairing will take place, and as a result the complex will be a low spin complex. And if the ligand is CO or Cl minus, these are strong field ligands, so what it will do, it will do the pairing of electron. So the complex will be a low spin complex. The complex will be a low spin complex. So mind it, my dear student, Strong field ligand will make low spin complex. Strong means make low spin complex. Weak field ligand will make high spin complex. So it is very easy to remember. If n-d orbital may get into hybridization, or n-d orbital can get into hybridization. If n-1 d orbital is involved in hybridization, then the complex is the inner orbital complex, and if n-d orbital is involved in hybridization, then the complex is the outer orbital complex. Now regarding pairing of electron, if the ligand is a strong field ligand, it will do the pairing of electron, so the complex will be a low spin complex. And if the ligand is a weak field ligand, so it will not do the pairing of electron, and as a result the complex will be a high spin complex. So strong field ligand will make low spin complex, weak field ligand will make high spin complex. So this is the way in which how you can remember that whether the complex will be a low spin complex or high spin complex. So if the now depending on the number of ligands, so the entrance question will be like this. CO is a ligand to a particular metal in coordination complex, suppose NiCO4. Whether the complex will be a low spin complex or high spin complex or none of the above. So your answer will be, since CO is a ligand, so it will do the pairing. So it is a strong field ligand, so the complex will be a low spin complex. So if I minus is a ligand, then it is a weak field ligand, then it will not do the pairing, so the complex will be a high spin complex. On this basis you are going to approach your questions in the examination. Okay, so now today I am not going to discuss so you people, whatever rules or whatever assumptions, whatever I have given, you discuss it, you just go through it. It is given very nicely in the NCERT book. And one thing I want to say that regarding notes I will provide it, and I have given something in the group also. So regarding notes, don't worry, you get the notes. So these main features of balance bond theory, these are available in NCERT books. You just go through it, and from next class onwards we are going to solve one problem. Okay, so for your query, let us solve one problem. Okay, so let's see how this is happening. Okay, so the complex is CR NH3 6, CR NH3 6, CR NH3 6 3 plus. Now first we have to know the oxidation state of the metal. So the oxidation state of the metal is X plus 6 into 0 equal to 3. So X is equal to plus 3 is the oxidation state. Now what is the electron configuration of chromium? Chromium is 24, that is 3d5 and 4s1. Now when chromium will become 3 plus, 24, 3 plus, it will have 3d4 and 1, 2, 3. So sorry, 3d3 and 4s0. So when 4s is coming, also there is 4p is also there, 4p is also there, so 4p is also 0. Okay. Now what will happen? So 3d3, so we have 3 electrons in d orbital. 3d orbital we have 3 electrons, 1 orbital, 2 orbital, 3 orbital, 4 and 5 orbital. This is 4s orbital, this is 4s. Okay, this is 3d orbital, this is 4s orbital, and this is 4p orbital. Okay, now 4p orbital. Okay, this is 4p orbital. Now here we are having 3 electrons. Then we are having 3 electrons. Now the ligand is NH3, which falls in between in the middle of the spectrochemical series. So it is a weak field ligand. So we can take it as a weak field ligand. Now 6 hybridization, 6 vacant orbitals will be there. So so that it can accommodate 6 ligand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 orbitals right over here. So these orbitals will undergo hybridization, and we will have D2sp3 hybridization. D2sp3 hybridization. Okay. Now here the ligand NH3 will come. Here the ligand NH3 will come. So one NH3 here. Okay, one NH3, two NH3, two NH3. Here also one NH3. Here also one NH3 and Sp. So to differentiate between the electron of centimeter atom and ligand, I am giving the electron of ligand in different signs. So here will be one more NH3 and H3. Here also one NH3, and here last but not the least, here also one NH3. So now I am going to determine some nature. So first nature is state of hybridization. Now first nature is hybridization. So hybridization is what hybridization it is undergoing? D2sp3. D2sp3. Okay. Next is nature of the complex. Next is nature of the complex. Nature of the complex. So see here, not 4d orbitals undergoing hybridization, the 3d orbitals undergoing hybridization. So it is a inner orbital complex. So it is a inner orbital complex. Inner orbital complex. Okay. Next point is magnetic nature. Next point is magnetic nature. So magnetic nature. So since there are 3 unpaired electrons. So since there are 3 unpaired electrons, 1, 2, 3 unpaired electrons are there. So the complex is a paramagnetic one. So the complex is a paramagnetic one. Okay, paramagnetic complex. It will be paramagnetic in nature. And next, last but not the least, is magnetic moment value. That is mu. Magnetic moment. That is mu. Mu is equal to n into root over n into n plus 2. Root over n into n plus 2 is equal to root over 3 into 3 plus 2 is equal to 3.87 Bm. Okay. So this is how we can determine these things. You will be said to, you will be asked in the examination. You will be asked that explain these properties: hybridization, nature of the complex, magnetic nature, and magnetic moment of the complex Cr NH3 So in this way you have to do, and you have to write few lines. Okay. So far as writing of few lines are concerned, it will get from NCERT book, and also I will provide you the notes. So in this way you will have to determine. Okay. So this is just one, एक बोल सकते हो कि एक नमूना दिया है मैंने. So ये एक ट्रेलर है, पिक्चर का भी अभी कल आएगा. Okay. So with this I want to conclude my lecture here today. Thank you very much, my dear students.